What's up, guys? Ready for another riveting egg carton video? I know I am. Oh, dude. I love this channel. I love this channel. Do you want to know why I love this channel? Because I get to make videos about anything I want. Free will. Isn't that crazy? Anyways, today's video, unscripted, done in a significantly less sloppy manner than my absolutely atrocious long dark video where I just become a creature for a couple minutes. I needed to make this video. I need to make this video. You guys need to listen to me. Cause I'm a person too. I got things to say. And with this particular scenario, I'm about to relay to you this riveting tale of white women and pesto. I think it's important to remind the viewers out there, you guys have voices. You guys are people too. And I don't want you guys to forget that. Anyways, without further ado, well, in that case, let's get into the today's topic, Karens. Now, keep in mind, I've seen the memes. I've seen them in public, but never been victim to a Karen. I always knew they existed, but today was really something special and I need to document it. Well, it's fresh in my mind, so I never forget the sheer agony some of these fucking people bring human beings. Let me set the scene, right? For those of you who don't know, because there's two people who watch this channel, I work at a grocery store. I'm an in-store shopper. I do online order fulfillment. What that entails is having knowledge of the store, having knowledge of our stock, collecting items. Sometimes we need to substitute things if we don't have it, and that's okay. But ultimately, it's never that deep. Even if something a person orders is super crucial to what they need. For example, I did an order a couple months ago where a customer really needed sourdough bread because they were making a special grilled cheese dinner for their wife. And, we were kind of low on sourdough, so I dug around the back and I found a loaf for her, and she was really happy. So, and I even told her, I was because before I found the sourdough, I told her, I was hey, listen, I'm not going to be able to, if I can't find sourdough, what do you want? Or do you want anything at all? I could just take it off the order. And she was oh yeah, no, there's another kind of bread. I mean, I would really prefer sourdough, but if you can't find it, it's totally fine. But I was able to clutch up, pull through for her. I took out her order to her car, and, she's very thankful for it. And this particular order I'm closing. Past 6:30, it's just me until 9 o'clock, and then I leave. And keep in mind, this is not the only order I'm doing that's due for this hour. It's what? 6:50? And I have another order I need to do before 6:55. So I'm wrapping up this order. It's 7 items for this lady. And she orders 2 tubs of 7-ounce Rana brand pesto. And, I look on the shelf. We got nothing there. Now, here's the thing, right? Whenever there's something missing from our store shelves, it doesn't necessarily mean it's out of stock. But usually we have a reserve in the back or in the individual departments, but for this case it's special because the manager herself, who deals with all the pesto and whatnot in that refrigerated aisle, the deli manager, she's told me personally that if I can't find it on the shelf, then we probably don't have it. So, this order's already late. I have confirmation that we probably don't have this pesto in stock due to prior knowledge. I'm going to substitute it for this lady, so instead of giving her 2 7-ounce tubs, I gave her a 12-ounce family-size tub. And we have a little IM on our delivery, or Doug phones. That's what it's called. It's called Doug, the department. We have a little IM. on there so that, they can see the substitutions we make in real time. And if they don't like it, they can always, they can correct it. They can give us something to work with in case the substitution we give them they don't like. And this lady goes, I kid you not, verbatim, word for word, she goes, "Get me cheaper brand. One, please." And she's very vague, nothing comes to mind. So I'm at this aisle, I've substituted this thing for her, and she goes, "Get me cheaper brand one," And so I'm looking on the shelf over by the refrigerated pesto, and I'm like, hey, everything else that we have is kind of artisan brand. It's much more expensive and you get less of it. Like the 12-ounce tub that I substituted for her was $5 with the deal, with the membership deals, which you get anyways because you have to put in your phone number to do online orders, and you put in your phone number to get the membership deals. And all the other pesto brands, the artisan ones, are $8 for 6 ounces. So I was like, hey, listen, the pesto I got you is probably worth more value-wise than the other pestos. They're a little more expensive, but if you like, I can still swap it out for you. And so I snap a little picture on my phone of the shelf of the pesto that we have, and I send it, and I'm like, if you want anything else, let me know. I give her the whole customer service, let me know what you want, I'll do my best to give it to you. Right. Now, when any other customer would just be like, oh yeah, no, that's fine, thanks, I'll just stick with what you gave me. Or, hey, can I get that one on the shelf that you just sent me the picture of? Or even, and we're gonna come back to this, hey, it's okay, I don't want refrigerated ones, you can give me non-refrigerated instead if it's cheaper. Right. Now, what this lady tells me, what she sends me, really was the first warning sign that the woman I was dealing with is not a human being at all. She says, please read above text. I already told you what I want. Okay. So I'm stupid then, huh? Is that what you're telling me? Is that what am I supposed to do with cheaper one, please? Or whatever the hell she said. I already sent her a picture of the stuff that we had. So I'm a little confused. But, I'm looking at the clock. I've got a couple minutes left. I have another order to do for this hour. I don't have time to waste fucking bickering with this lady. She's real fucking sensitive about her pesto. So, I hit, finish order with the substitution I gave her, which, by the way, on the client end side of our ordering interface, if there's a substitution she doesn't like, she can just decline. She doesn't even have to take the substitution I give her. People don't take our substitutions all the time. So, I get her orders done. I scramble to get someone else's order. It's another 6 things. It's marshmallows and hot sauce and whatnot. And so I'm just mentally preparing myself for the shitstorm that I know I'm going to get from this lady, because the way she speaks is just I wish I had taken a picture of the messages that she gave me, because you could read it and you could tell that, oh, this lady's going to be a fucking handful, Karen's just kind of, I almost want to say rich people, but no, it's not even rich people. I've met people probably 3 times richer than she is that text way nicer. And so, I get a little notification on my phone. She's here. She's ready to pick up her order, right? And I get my cart ready of the like 2 bags of stuff she wants, which is not a lot. Um, and I go outside, and she's parked in spot 2, and it's something. It hits me. It hits me, right? The truck that she's sitting in, waiting for her stuff. I've seen it before. Oh yes, I've seen it before. It was here a half hour ago. She's been sitting here for a half hour, waiting for me to finish picking her order. Oh my god. What a treat I'm in for, right? So, I roll out the cart. I'm like, hey, here's your stuff. Oh my god, and here's another thing about this story. She asked for a rain check. She asked for a rain check for the 2 tubs of pesto that we didn't have, that she wanted originally on our order. And we're not supposed to give rain checks for online orders because that's not how they work. But I talked to my manager, I showed her all the IM and everything and the order details, and she wrote me one anyways. And she was like, this is a one-time thing, probably because this customer's upset, but we'll give it to her. So I roll up my cart. I've got my bags in tow. I'm like, hey, hello, hi, can I get your code? And before I forget, here's your rain check. And I give it to her. And I told her, we're not supposed to, but just for you, I made sure it happened. And then she's like, okay, thank you. And then here, fucking buckle up, alright? Because the next couple of minutes are going to be rough, right? So I give her the rain check. I let her put her stuff in her truck. And she shuts the door and she's like, were you the one who picked my order? And I'm like, yep, that's me. And she goes, so, do you know what cheaper means? I go, I'm sorry? And she goes, cheaper. Do you know what cheaper means? And I'm like, I'm sorry, I'm not quite following. Do I understand what the word cheaper means? And she's like, yes. And I'm like, of course I do. And she goes, then why did you give me this 12-ounce family tub of pesto? And I'm like, because we didn't have anything else on the shelf. And then she cuts me off right there and she goes, did you know that there were other options available? And I was like, I sent you a picture of what we had on the shelf. I really did try my best to find something for. And she's like, well, no, I don't think you did. Do you know where your pesto is in your store? And I'm like, of course I do. It's on aisle 5. And she's like, yeah, aisle 5 and aisle 17. See, here's my problem, right? So I asked for a cheaper one, and you insisted that you give me the family size one when it's not cheaper. Do you understand? Before I even can get another word in, she goes, you see, on aisle 17, there's non-refrigerated pesto. Did you know that? And yet again, I can't get a word in because this lady's fucking fuse is lit, and she's getting ready to fucking pull out the mollywop, right? And so I'm just kind of, whenever I get into situations like this, I just kind of default to the listen and nod. I'm sure you can picture in your head the listen and nod, like yeah. And she's like, you really need to understand your store layout better. And I think at the time I was just kind of so stunned that she was so upfront about being rude to me like that, like kind of talking to me like I'm a child, that I wasn't quite sure what she was trying to tell me. And like I was like, listen, I understand there's pesto on aisle 17. Because, like, what I was in my mind, I'm like, is she trying to tell me there's refrigerated pesto on aisle 17? Aisle 17 is the pasta aisle. Of course it's not going to be. And I'm like, listen, lady, all of the Rana brand stuff that goes through the deli. All right, it gets shipped to the deli, and then the deli. Usually, it's the deli manager is the one. I always see her on aisle 5. She's stocking it. And I'm like, listen, she's the one who puts it on the shelves. If there's, if I didn't see it, she has told me it's probably not there. And I'm trying to explain to her this, like, the logic. And it's not clocking to her. It's not clocking to her. That, I actually tried, And she's just like, yeah, no. But I needed something. I asked for something that was cheaper. Do you understand me? Do you understand what cheaper means? And I'm like, it's finally clocking to me now in this moment that this argument is not winnable. And I'm just like, okay, let's get it through. Let's get it over with. And I'm like, you know what? I probably should have thought about the pesto on aisle 17 to substitute for you. I'm sorry, that's my bad. And she's like, yeah, it is your bad. And she's like, what do they teach you when they're training? And I'm like, whoa, hold on. Don't wrap the training into this, okay? And I'm just kind of like, well, no, this is my decision. I wanted to keep in line. I try to best match the substitutions as closely as I can to the original item. So, like, I try to keep, refrigerated stuff. I try to substitute it with something refrigerated. If it's canned, I like to give them a can. On very specific exceptions, that is when I substitute them something else entirely. And so I'm trying to explain that to her, because at no point in the IM did she ever mention, hey, you can go to a different aisle and get me something non-refrigerated. I don't mind that. I would prefer it if it was cheaper, right? And I'm just trying to explain, I was like, hey, I try to best match what I can, and I'm just trying to do my best. And I even asked my manager if I should keep the substitution I gave with the information you gave me, and she's like, well, maybe it's the manager's fault then. Maybe the managers aren't the brightest. Now, at this point, now my fuse is lit now at this point, because my manager working that night that I spoke to, who I will not name drop in this video because God forbid she gets associated with this channel. I love her to death. She's genuinely the sweetest, most hardworking manager ever. And I'm like, don't rope the manager into this. All right, this is the let's stop talking about. Let's stop it with the store hive mentality. All right, this is my fault. Okay, let me make this right. And I tried to tell her I could refund the pesto. She really didn't want it, but she wasn't really having it. Getting what she wanted was not the goal at this point. She achieved the hatred Karen flow state, right? And that's when she gets real vile with me. And she's raising her voice. She's calling me stupid. She's calling my manager stupid. And she's like, she's just kind of like insulting everything that me and my department stands for. And, I've already clocked that this argument's unwinnable. So I'm just like, alright, yep, okay, alright, And then halfway through her, like, angry rant, she goes, and I know I'm not supposed to give you tips. And then she pulls out like $1 and just tosses it on the floor. Who does that? What am I, your fucking slobbering fucking mutt? I'm gonna pick up your fucking rainwater dollars after you and take it like a bitch. It's not the way I work. That's not how I like to live. And then even while she's getting the $1 out of her car, she's like, and I'm not trying to be a bitch. And it's just at this point, I'm upset. but I'm doing my best to, to mask it, because I don't like to show that I'm upset in front of customers, because that's just not how I like to keep a professional, like, facade up, and she gets the rest of it out, and she's like, I will be leaving a bad review. It's like, I'm sure you will. I'm counting on it. I'm counting on it. When I clock into work, I'm gonna go straight to the reviews board, and I want to see the review from Miss Wright. That's right, yeah, Miss Wright, Chantel, huh? Oh, and so I go inside. Keep in mind, like, half of the night, like nighttime, afternoon, night crew in all the departments is outside on their break, so they hear everything. And my good coworker Jay, over the radio after I go back inside, he's like, that was rough. And I was like, oh yeah, gotta love customers. You gotta love customers. And I'm telling everyone what happened and how much time she wasted giving me the works. She wasted like I want to say like a little south of 10 minutes of my time that I could have spent picking orders. And it really bothered me for like the rest of the night, like less so after I vented to my coworkers, and like some of the deli people were like, you didn't deserve that. That lady's a bitch. And I was like, yeah. And I told my manager that she called that this lady called her a retard, and she's upset about it. But I needed to tell her. I have to tell people when there's shade being thrown. I gotta let them know. Anyways, I later that night before I leave, I'm doing go backs for my department because it's a fucking tragedy, quite frankly. And I'm over at aisle 17. And I'm looking at all the pasta because I'm putting some jars away. And I'm like, let's take a look at the pesto that she so desperately wanted me to substitute with, right? Dude, it was like 4 ounces for the same price as the 12-ounce one. So either way, she wouldn't have been happy. I don't know, maybe she's into getting fucking cucked by shrinkflation like that. I don't know. I wouldn't know. Anyways, I said there was a point to this video, and there is. I just want to circle back to what I said in the beginning. For all my retail, food service, HR, no, maybe not HR, customer service reps out there, everyone who's working a job, a real job, not YouTube. Yeah, I feel for you guys. This is my first real time with a bad customer since I've gotten this job at this grocery store. And it sucks. It sucks when this kind of shit happens, because these people, customer's always right? Customer's always right, except for when they're not. And you know what? One could argue that this whole debacle was my fault, because I didn't think to look on aisle 17 to give her something. And you know what? I suppose that's valid. Anyways, I'm gonna cut this here. I got work in the morning. So, I'll catch y'all on the flip side. Bye.